Well, first, I'd really like to thank our fans. That was great. I mean, the environment, the energy, the number of things that you saw from a pregame perspective in the game, really, really great. We fed off that energy. That energy absolutely helped us when things were kind of unraveling there in the second half and the mistakes that we were making. But so good to have that support from our city, from our students, and helped us pull away a good victory against a team that I think will win a whole lot of games in their league and throughout the entire season. But total team effort from our guys, and really, again, appreciate the support from everybody here.
Well, first of all, is that water or Gatorade or what would you get?
Yeah, they got me. They got me. They got me with a good handful of many glasses of water, and so. We've got an energetic group of guys. They know how special this place is to me, and then again, this is the first step in a long journey for us, and we're excited about what we're building, not just this year but beyond.
Talk about just how, you touched upon it just a second ago. After kind of losing the big lead in the last game, you guys kind of let one slip away and then built another one and then held on this time.
Yeah. I think what makes basketball so great and so interesting is there's so many different ways to play, there's so many different ways to win, and there's a number of different ways to lose too. And the other night we got out rebounded. The other team really scored it. We took care of the basketball a little bit better, but it was a different way. And I think this, in the end, will prove to be something that we can really rally around, that we were able to hang on because it wasn't good. We were turning the basketball over. We're fouling three-point shooters. We inbound the ball and then turn it over again late. So there was, of course, a collection of errors, but things that we're going to be able to look at, and we've got a lot of inexperience in these moments. And so to be able to come away with a win but yet still have all these teaching moments is real positive for us.
When you see the new venue, you weren't here last year, obviously, but did you have any part? Did you give them any suggestions of what you would like to see this new revamped Reynolds Center?
We just talked about a number of things from a fan experience perspective, but many things really came from our administration, Rick Dixon, and our president, Brad Carson. So I want to give them the credit. There's things that we've had meetings about and marketing meetings and so forth, but so many of these things were going to be in play. The projection screening on the court before game, like that, those give the credit to our administration. They want been nothing but supportive and trying to do things to, again, create an environment that the entire city wants to be a part of.
When you see, a crowd like that, does it kind of remind you of the days when you were here before?
Oh, absolutely. Very similar. The students waiting in line before they could get in, number of people, the concourse filled with people, and we, of course, want to keep growing that. We're a work in progress as a team, no doubt, and we're going to keep trying to look at things to continue to make our game day experience the very best possible, and that's the challenge. You look at ESPN Plus and other things, and you can sit and click from game to game to game to game to game to game to game, and we want this to be an environment that people, one, feel connected to our team, to our staff, to our university, regardless if it's their alma mater or not. And really grab a hold of the entire 918 for it.
So with that, are you kind of wanting to make it a block party type thing? Like you come to the game, cheer on TU, but then it's rowdy, ruckus, the whole 9 yards?
Absolutely. We want to make this, we've talked about, we want to make this the toughest environment for the opponents to play in, but also the most insanely fun type environment for people to come. We've talked about how, there's certain areas of the country that maybe people don't know that as much about the game, and they just know it's the place to be. We want to grab a hold of those people. This place happens to be filled with people that understand basketball, appreciate good basketball, and want to see it. And then we also have some very, very true and tested fans that have been with us all along. We just want to keep grabbing a hold of more.
I got one more on it. Out at Arizona State, they have the curtain of distraction. Have you thought of something, maybe something similar to that type thing? Or in Utah State, they had a guy that, dressed in a Robin outfit with just Speedos. I don't know. thinking outside the box?
Yeah, well, I know there's some characters in that student section
Right.
from what I've heard, and you know, there's been meetings with our student body president, Justin, and other people of, you know, really trying to facilitate and encourage the crazies that we can have.
Going off of the game, what impressed you so much about Tim today, the way he was able to take charge on offense?
Yeah, I thought Tim played very much under control. I thought he provided a lot of great energy for us. He got in foul trouble in our first game at Oregon State. I know that really just hurt the rhythm of the game for him. Gotten a little bit, but he's an aggressive guy, and we want him to be aggressive. There's some things that we can continue to get better on from a stylistic standpoint and just a footwork standpoint. But I thought he gave us a big lift with 9 rebounds, you know, the points, hit some timely shots, and yeah, it was nice having him out on the floor there today.
John, sorry, took some minutes.
No, it's cool, man. Talk about Embry Simpson. Like, where did that come from? Dramatic improvement over last game and what we've seen from him before.
Well, I think this was a game that really required his contribution, and you look at it in a number of different ways. I mean, every time Sam Griffin was in pick and roll, they were trapping it until he got it out of his hands. There was opportunities for others. Sam got it out of pick and roll, and then we tried to, you know, sprint the ball around the court and try to find the next open man, and it got into Keyshawn's hand. Keyshawn is really a Swiss Army knife for us. He's one of those guys that if we run an offensive set, he could run all 5 positions. He knows that. But he's also a guy that we can put in the post. He can hit threes. Just looking at a number of different ways to utilize him. He's been a guy that's had the injury bug over the last few years. I know he's starting to feel healthy, and we're trying to do everything we possibly can to just make him feel better and better. But this, well, I think, will help because he was very, very productive and was a big part of this win.
Multiple rotations out of your offense. It wasn't just, you know, the same 5 out on the court. Is that the kind of style that we're going to see throughout this year? And I mean, how does that help you make you more dynamic when you don't have to just focus on 5 straight guys?
Well, we want to build depth, and we want to continue to find ways to get our young guys in, and so that they can grow. We also want to find ways that can have different lineups and just build experience. We've got a lot of youth, in not just youth in age, but youth in experience, with playing meaningful minutes down the stretch, playing in different types of offenses, against different offenses, and in different defenses. You know, I don't know how many times we'll see a guy like Adams that's that tenacious on the basketball up and down the entire court. But we got that tonight, and it's hard to replicate in practice. So all these experiences are very, very important for us.
With Nikita, because obviously I didn't get to see the game up at Oregon State other than on TV, when do you expect him to be back out on the court again?
Yeah, it could be a while. You know, he's got to be evaluated here in the next couple weeks just to see where he's at. But you know, we're expecting him to be out for the next several games.
From Sam's point of view, huge game last game, a little more quiet tonight. What was that part of the plan, or how did you see his performance?
Well, I thought Sam did a nice job of taking what the defense gave us. You know, I thought he got loose a little bit early, and that was a great thing. And we did it off our defense. And then in the second half, and our staff, we've got to keep looking at different ways to be able to free him. He was able to get in pick and roll and come off ball screens. Well, Jackson State went to a very aggressive, trapping him until he put 2 hands on the ball, tried to give it up. And we've got to be able to find other ways to be able to get him shots because he's a great shooter, great scorer, and we got to find better ways to get him open.